Like, it's actually looking for a 3080. Is what I would have gotten if I got to choose, ideally. So bear with me, I'm going to try and see if I can't pull up a utility to actually look at the temperature on my, or the stats, I shouldn't just say temperature, on my GPU, see what's going on, because this is pissing me off. The GeForce software, it's like, just give me information about my current running video card and how it's performing. Don't advertise games to me, don't do all this stuff. Just give me my information about my own freaking hardware. I mean, I think that'd be a neat thing, that, like, early on you might have a bunch of survivors, and then you wouldn't have hardly any survivors. It's interesting that that's still that way. But yeah, like, I could go for that with the... That's interesting. That's not a texture glitch so far as us, that's just a weird thing. Right, well the worst thing is the software used to be more useful. And it's just, now you have to like dig 30 layers deep just to find basic stats in your card, like how hot it's running, what the VRAM situation is. Like, is it automatically overclocking or underclocking? Because the first thing I will do if anything that has automatic overclocking is I will turn that off, because why? If it's not running right, I will deal with it then. Like, it has to blow my mind is you'd have these video cards and processors that say, like, say it's running at like 3200 megahertz, and they go, oh, we can overclock it to 3700. I'm like, right, but that's not the performance bottleneck, so why would I do that? Why would I shorten the lifespan of my video card just to get, you know, some negligible performance improvement? Like, I get it when the card's, you know, 7 years old and it's barely keeping up with games, then, alright, yeah, overclock that crap. You know, get to last a little longer so far as performance for the game. That Marinar did nothing for our hunger. Yeah, it's that planned obsolescence is, in a lot of ways, like, that's one of the few things we actually have consumer protections for. That's the thing that got Apple in so much trouble when they would have the CPU automatically throttle down as your phone got older. That they were, potentially in violation of planned obsolescence laws with consumer protection. Because it used to be a thing that there was software that, after X number of years, would just cease to work. That's one of the arguments people have had with stuff that runs with the server that doesn't need to. Is it's like forced obsolescence. Oh yeah, probably. Like, that was a whole thing forever that Apple had this thing. It's like, oh yeah, we estimate your battery life gets shorter as time goes on, so what we're going to do is just continuously reduce the performance of your device to, or the CPU use on your device to, you know, bring down the battery consumption. You know, whether that was a genuine thing or they're like, oh yeah, we just want to make your phone feel slower, like, who knows? Maybe they had the altruistic thing of actually trying to get more battery life out of your device, and it just had the beneficial side effect of making you want to buy a new phone as your phone got slower. The result still is your phone artificially got slower. Well, that's another thing that happens is, like, it's been a real big problem in software for ages that they just expect hardware to get better all the time, which, you know, it mostly does. I need to come back to the phone, or gun, we'll come back. But, so they would just keep making things with less and less efficiency and consideration. That's actually one of the things that made Windows Vista such a colossal failure at the time. Is, for the most part, performance requirements and operating system hadn't meaningfully changed in so long between like XP and 98 and 95. And then Vista had a huge increase in performance requirements. And it unfortunately was timed perfectly with when the netbook, like netbooks got super popular. Which most people found netbooks were like the most underpowered things ever made, that they were just not worth using. Like, you'd open a text editor and the poor netbook would struggle with it. And so you had an operating system that got bloated, you know, because it wanted to do all these extra things at a time when computers were, like, kind of skimping down on the hardware. It was only netbooks. You had, like, e-machines were popular at that point in time, and they were always underpowered and stuff like that. It was just very bad timing. I mean, I get why netbooks were popular though, because getting a netbook was like $200-300. Like, I actually used a netbook for college for a while. Like, the thing was only good for taking notes on, and even then it was like, was it good at it? It's like, But they were tiny, they were light, they were inexpensive. I mean, it was like what the iPad was bringing to the table when you got all the accessories before that was a thing. So it's nice going onto college campus not dragging some 15-pound laptop with you. Or, you know, having to write it all out on paper, then go home, and then, you know, type it down. That way you could some way search for it and all that. Oh, yeah. Well, and there was a lot of netbooks that didn't even have a CPU fan, that there were these, like, grossly underpowered processors that, you know, the idea was it just needed a heat shim and that was good enough. Another thing going for netbooks is a lot of them had really good battery life for their time. Mostly because the rest of the hardware was so underpowered, but that was really helpful for a lot of things, like when you're traveling and that. But yeah, like in those days, I had this laptop that was like a performance gaming laptop or whatever. When that was still like kind of the new thing, was that gaming laptops were like this brand new idea. And that monstrosity, like calling a laptop is a lie. It was a portable desktop. The thing weighed like 20-something pounds. You didn't put it on your lap, you'd cook your ankles or cook your knees. So that, like, the cheapest netbook could find. Is there a way to increase the passive perception radius of your character when they come up behind you? Yes, there is a trait called Keen Hearing that makes this about... It's somewhere between 1.5 and 2 times as large as it is by default. No! No! Why are you burned down? That makes my plans not go the same way. You're not supposed to be burned down, gas station. I mean, I guess it's a step better than the last time we had problems, which is it had a house alarm in it. So we got there, we got everything set up and square, we thought everything was golden, we got our car, we got our generator, and then went to go inside and house alarm and just forced us out of the area entirely forever. And I died because I got frustrated and was trying to go too fast and was being reckless because, you know, I was just annoyed about not being able to get in. Yeah, that's a gas station building, so I'm assuming the pumps are fine. Which means that whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to build in the gas station itself this time. Well, Project Zomboid says no. This is not a, we're going to build in here this time, you're going someplace else. Ooh, firefighter. This is the, like the default setting, so you'll have some fast shamblers and some normal. You'll have a mix. Well, I guess I'm going to start clearing over here to the burger joint. Huh. Because I'm going to have to find some place to sleep on this end of town. And the place I had planned on sleeping short term is burned down. Because that gas station has, like, an apartment or something on the top floor. But a burned down building, there's no way I'm going to the second floor. You'll just fall through because it's so hard to see where the holes are. A single unit of gas. Ah, that's not enough. Because I have to get the vehicle down to the generator and back up. And then need some gas to put in the generator to actually get the gas out of the pump. I mean, if I end up having to do that, I'll end up having to do that. I really don't want to do that. Like, the generator is so far away. Like, there's no doing that where we're not at maximum exertion, like, 2/3 of the way. Because I'd have to have multiple sleep sessions just dragging it because of how exerted we'd be. I will say, I do hope I can resolve this, whatever this issue is going on my computer right now, before tomorrow's stream, because if it comes down to multiplayer, I can't play multiplayer like this, because if I'm host and I'm crashing, it's going to ruin it for everyone. Like, that'd just solidly make that a non-viable option. Which would also suck, because I do know one of my other friends got Project Zomboid just the other day. So, was hoping to get him involved at some point. And I'm not going to worry about preserving the firefighter's outfit. It doesn't breathe at all, so we're not using it. Because I'll just overheat in it all the time. The pants survived somehow. Run speed modifier. I don't care about that, but the insulation on that. Like, I'll keep those for winter. So let's see how bad the damage is, because I did notice the bottom area is open. So it's possible we might be able to go in there, not for a bunch of stuff, but may grab some food off the shelves, because I'm short on food. I have not seen the Manage Containers mod. I'm not going to watch any video on stream, sorry. If there's a video you want me to check out, if you can post it on Discord, I'll check it out later. Okay. Oh, did you DM me in Twitch or on Discord? 1 second. Yeah, I'll check later. I don't watch videos that are linked to me during stream. I just made that kind of like a hard rule. Like, not that there could never be an exception to that rule. You know, like if Lemmy from Project Zomboid came, it's like, hey, you need to check this out. I'd be like, alright, sure. But generally speaking, I avoid... It's the same, like I also avoid hopping into random links anyone posts during stream. It's just safer that way. No gas there. No gas here. There was a golf club in the bag, so let's check that out. Correction, 2 golf clubs. We're just getting a heavy load because we're just getting so hungry. There's really not much left of that building. There's just that one shelf over there that might be worth checking out. Hey, Rainbow Octavian. Run's been going good. Computer hasn't been. Some reason we had some weird problems, like, right at the beginning of the stream before I even opened OBS. It was having some weird graphical glitches. And we've had a couple of crashes today. So it's been a frustrating day, but things are going alright for the moment. After stream, I'm going to do a bunch of maintenance stuff, see if we can't iron out what the problem is. Like, it seems like video card crashes. Like, driver crashes. I do not want to stay in here any longer than I have to. I was really hoping for food on that shelf. Oh yeah, we are on the far end of Ekron now. We've actually fought our way right down the middle of town. Now, we had planned on staying the night in here, but... well... it decided the building was burned down, so that's not an option anymore. So where do we go? Probably one of these houses back here. Because then I can take the house, cut across, build, like... we'll end up building a new structure, because this structure we had intended on using doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, we found the generator magazine. We know where a generator is. We know there's a vehicle that's in great shape we have the keys for. At the moment, though, we don't have gas. I found 1 unit of gas, which isn't enough to accomplish what I need. Like, it's enough to run the generator when it gets it up here, but getting the generator is a whole separate issue. Oh yeah, no, we're going to look around for another generator. Like I said, it'll basically be we look around the area, we find generator or gas, whichever we find, then that tells us what our plan is. Yeah, if the trunk has enough space, yes. You can put in the passenger seat, the trunk, anywhere, so long as it has enough space. The seats always will have enough space, so long as the last item you gotta put in. It'll let you put in the generator. And I haven't really gone into hardly any of the buildings here. We've been basically just clearing out the zombies towards the gas station. Trying to thin down the numbers as much as possible. And to be able to actually reach the gas station. Because the idea being is if I thin down all the zombies on the road, when it comes time that's like, oh, I need weapons, I can just go to the place I need to get weapons. And, like, I'll only have, like, 2 or 3 zombies or whatever is inside to deal with. What is the manage containers mod that is a must-have? Like, sell me on it. What is the thing that's like this? You know, this is a non-negotiable mod. Okay, that's pretty good. I wonder what the performance implications are, because there's been mods that do like sort loot and all that, and almost all of them have had serious performance implications. Okay, I'll just see if I can open that door, but I can't, so not gonna worry about it. And I'm basically checking these back parking lots, 1 for the zombies and 2 to see if we find a car back here. Yeah, I personally don't particularly mind too much dealing with loot. Like, that's not been a big issue for me, but I can see that is a big thing for that a lot of people get frustrated with, is just dealing with loot. Like, it's usually something I put off dealing with, but I don't particularly mind doing it. There are specific things about it. Yeah, I wish better. Oh yeah, no, we've been doing pretty good. Like, I can actually get a bunch of decent weapons here from the tool shop. But like, I've got some pretty good stuff we've been finding. Like, we've had 2 machetes, we've had some crowbars, we've had a bunch of good stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna check this potentially. It'll probably be locked, and if it is, I'm not going to break down the door right now. And I know there's no window on it because I've checked this building too many times. Ooh, it's actually unlocked for once. Oh, a full gas can. Alright, can I make this work? That is bad. Okay. Okay, we're alright. So we're gonna come back for that, because... Fresh bear... Okay. Why are there... Okay. I mean, sure, why not? We have herbalists. If those are poison, we would know. Let's go to this dry parking lot and sit down. Yeah, it's pretty rare I find a full gas can anywhere. Alright, so that gives us 6 units of gas. No, wait. It's more than 6 units, because the gas can's, I think, 10 units. So we have 11 units of gas we can go for, because we have the gas can plus 1 unit of gas back at the car. I'll save that 1 unit of gas for the generator. Now, challenge is, down where we saw that generator, there was a lot of zombies, and we did not clear them out. Because at the time, we were hurting on the food front. Technically, we're actually hurting on the food front right now, but I'm not as worried about it. Because the game has just randomly graced us a pile of berries for no reason. Not complaining. Yeah, there's lots of good stuff in here. Okay. Gonna kill this group. Oh yeah, there was a hammer, there was another garden hoe, there was the gas can, like that, you know, some duct tape for our machete. Like, there was a lot of good stuff in there. Now, what I need to do, though, is get that gas can out of there. Back to our vehicle. Because then I can gas it up, and then we get possibilities. And right now our inventory is a disaster. What is taking up so much space in here? The firefighter pants are taking up so much space, as well as the helmet. So the firefighter stuff is the thing that's driving us up the wall. That's fair. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to. Alright, we're just heavy load, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because I want to say the van is just down this way. We're really close to it. And we've cleared this area, so I'm not expecting too much trouble. Not that van. It's at the bookstore. We went in the bookstore and just one of the shelves had keys for 2 vehicles in the driveway, a truck and a van. And the van looks like it's in great shape, and the truck was not bad shape. It could have been better, but not bad. The downside is the entire road is nothing but bodies, which is going to absolutely destroy the suspension on anything I drive around. That's our van. Correct. There is no terrain elevation, just like normal, like floor elevations. I could be wrong. I thought Kentucky was a very hilly place. I could be totally wrong, though. I'm just not remembering right. I'd have to look. Okay, no air activity detected. Excellent. Okay. I figure our character needs to sleep before we do anything grand. Alright, trunk's got 167 space in it. Good. Cool, like... Let's see. And you're saying, Penitent thought you're saying, it is hilly or flat? Because, like I said, I thought it was hilly. And like I said, I could be totally wrong. Yeah, that's the textures being all messed up from when we had the graphics issues earlier. Alright, so... Probably should fill it up again. Because at this point, I'm considering that van our mobile base of ops. I can't remember, do we have the other duffel bag in here? I know we grabbed a spare. Yeah, we do. So secondary. Gotcha. Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like, I know some of the areas around Kentucky without knowing Kentucky, I'm like, but those all areas are very hilly. The kind of hill you ride your bike down, it's time to take your bike back up, you're like, nah, I'm walking it up. Forget this. I can only ride in, like, first gear for so long. Yep, that's the, that's what I was thinking is, When I traveled earlier this year, it was driving through Virginia. Virginia, West Virginia, Georgia, all that. Was headed up to Ohio. Is really awful. Like, we got into some of those, like, steep roads. I can't remember the main road we were on that got through the area, but they had, like, the highway was, like, shut down. So they had us going on these mountain edge roads that are, like, to call it a 2-lane road is being very generous. But we're stuck on that, like, driving in the rain, and I was just going, like... It's like the only thing I'm doing right now is focusing, because all of this is terrifying. We're going to have to find a base of operations because I had intended the gas station building itself being where we would stay, but the situation there has absolutely ruined that plan. I'm just going to leave those there. I don't care about that stuff.